Hello. Trying to figure out if there's something. Okay, so yeah. Um, what I'm going to work on today is circle mazes. So I have some old code from a long time ago. Maze wall solver. Uh, I have no idea what this is. What? What was this? I'm so confused. No, that wasn't this. No, it's not the thing. Maybe it's this. Okay, it doesn't exist. It's not pie test. It might be maze pie. Lettuce. Oh, yeah, okay. Circle maze. Here we go. I think this is it. Oh, man. Uh... Net. Alright, yeah, let's try that. Okay, so it's doing something. I think it's drawing the maze. I think that's what it's doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I have this helpful is in walls section. Right, because I was drawing the thing. Yeah, okay, cool. Get closest walls. So I might just ask a robot to rewrite this in I guess WGSL. Yeah. Right, because this is the rendering part. Alright, yeah. That's the circle maze as I remember it. What I did in the past was just remove the circle bit, or remove the center, and then remove the outer walls. I could probably make mine smaller, because this one looks like it would be very tedious to solve. also wonder if if it's possible for me to modify like the min and max guy here. Yeah, because I'm not in love with how tight some of the corridors are. Let's change this to 1,000. Should be a quarter. Maze node radius. Let's call this 48. I assume it's path radius, right? Yeah. Just so it's on the record, this is all code from a Minecraft mod that I made a long time ago. That's how I validated that the maze game was actually like a decent idea. Is I made it in Minecraft, but before I made it in Minecraft, I wrote the maze algorithms in Python. And yeah, I have this is the other maze guy. But yeah, the circle maze is a lot more complex. Yeah, the path radius. I wonder what I can do about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, is it more important to have the things that, because like when you zoom in, I don't know how noticeable it will really be. I will say what's interesting is that right now my path width is the same, or the path radius is the same as the wall radius. Let's see how that looks. Actually, can I look at my code? Path width. Path width. Square maze cell size. Okay, it's 3. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious. What happens when I use that number? Okay, why does it count down and then count up? Oh my goodness. Okay. Why does that happen? I guess, do we not take into account the wall radius? No, we don't. Okay, I see. So this, I think, has a slight, what is it called? It has a little bit of an oversight, which is that I don't take into account the size of the walls. So I think, yeah, I think I need to fix that, because that's important. That's important to have a consistent wall thickness, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's okay if the path thickness varies a little bit, but the wall thickness at the very least has to be the same. Path radius. If I set that to 2, what happens? Do, do, ooh, wah, 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 wah. Okay. Yeah, circle division. What does that control? Okay. Oh man, this is gonna require... Oh Jesus, okay. So what's the algorithm for actually creating components? Yeah, like this is accurate, but yeah, we need to take into account the wall thickness. I think that's the biggest thing. So this, I think, is a really simple algorithm, right? Like, all we're doing here is we're just finding a random walk through the graph. Yeah, I think this is literally just a normal thing. Like, if I look at my Rust code for generating the square maze, I think it'll look exactly the same. Oh yeah, okay, that's funny. I have a circle node thing already. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wait a second. Did I update this? Circle maze adjacent. Yeah, I don't know. Damn, it's been so freaking long. Yeah, I'll work on the Python first because it's just easier to work in. Um, oh, okay. Round to the nearest power of 2 to preserve connectability. Okay, that makes sense. But theoretically, I could also do a power of 3. But two is just a nicer number, so. Okay. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to take into account the wall width. Maybe I should get my drawing tablet so I could draw on the stream, and then that way I'm not just showing an empty thing. Yeah, okay, so every other cell is going to be every other cell I can assume is going to be a wall, which means that it's not connected with anything. Oh, the round. Okay, I was like, wait, what? Alright, that makes sense. Node radius. Ah, man, this is annoying because it's like, I see why I did it this way, I guess. Ah, man. I'm actually not entirely sure. So, yeah, I'm actually confused. If I make the path radius 1, if I make them both 1, pretty sure it fails. If I do 0.5, like, yeah. I guess, like, what does the path radius even control? Okay, so we're not rendering that. Okay. What are we rendering? I mean, it seems like we're rendering... If it's not in the maze... I mean, I guess this works. I just don't love how... Yeah, I don't know. It feels like... I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I do not want to reinvent the wheel. But at the same time, I feel like... Yeah, I feel like this... Like, I'm revisiting this, and I'm not entirely happy with it. So, Circle Maze 2. So, okay. Circle Maze 2, I want to account for the thickness of the walls. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get like a little thing. But for now, just know that I'm drawing some really nice pictures. Beautiful pictures. Do I want to get my compass out? Because I'm drawing circles. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. Where's my compass? Here's my compass. God damn, my desk is a fucking mess. Okay, anyway. My desk aside. Alright, so, yeah, I have... Oh, fuck, okay. Okay, so there's a circle. I don't love how I'm... Do I have a straight edge? I do have a straight edge. It's in here, right? Or is it not? Oh no, it's on my desk again, buried under everything. Okay. So now I can measure the wall thickness that I drew. approximately accurate at least. Alright, can I like cut this into 16ths maybe? I guess what I can do is yeah, like how accurate do I need to be? I don't need to be very accurate, I don't think, actually. I mean, yeah, at least just for a simple test. So if let's break this into quarters, and we can break it into eighths. I think that's reasonable. And then the next one, I break into 16ths. Okay, so something like that. And so I know that every alternating one is a wall on the, or is it? Maybe only some of them are walls. Yeah, like when I do a square pattern, right? Then I know that there's always a wall in the top left and always a free space in the top right. And then or no, in the bottom right there's always free space. And the top right and the bottom left, there's optionally a wall depending on the connectivity of the graph, right? This feels similar, but with the caveat that like, so like currently the graph has, like, each node has two potential connections, right? It branches out like this. And sometimes it only goes down one, and then other times it goes down like that. I just no one can see what I'm talking about, but regardless, it naturally has like a tree-like hierarchy between the various arcs, and then within each arc there's possible connections laterally. Yeah, there's possible connections laterally, but you know, when it goes up an arc, it has a tree-like structure. And yeah, and if we didn't have these connections laterally, like if we didn't have the connections, you know, within the arc, then then the maze would have nothing to it. So it's not actually that that adjacent nodes are walls, or yeah, that every other node is a potential wall. I guess what it's more like is if we have an arc. Do I have like Pinta on here or something? I wonder if this will brick my system like it did last time. That would be very funny. Maybe I'll just grab my drawing tablet. Well, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So if I have one arc, right? And then, you know, these are the subdivisions that I'm using as paths. Then, so yeah, this is interesting because this is interesting because do I actually split into two here? I'm not sure. Well, regardless. You know, I guess what I would love to know is like... No, I think the Minecraft mazes do actually look really similar. Did I change the circle maze at all? Angle of node. Node at radius. Oh, nodes at radius. Next node. Yeah, I don't know if I actually did that properly. Okay. Touching? Okay, well, regardless, right, in the next ring, so yeah, initially I thought, okay, so, you know, every other guy should be changed, or should be filled in for a wall. But no, that doesn't make sense, because if I do that guaranteed, then there's no lateral connectivity. Yeah, because like in this kind of graph, right? Like your nodes are connected like this. They're connected. So this is like a lower level of the arc, and then this is a higher arc, right? And then it could also be that the connection between each level is, you know, is just direct, because like there's not enough distance between that arc and the next. And that gets more true, you know, the further out you go. Like this arc and this arc, the difference between them is very minimal. Anyway, so yeah, but then there's also connections laterally across like that, or potential connections laterally, right? Like that would just be going around the arc. And then these connections would be going up the arc, because we can imagine that that's split into two, And so that goes there, or it goes there. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's like, okay, so if let's say, yeah, like, I have this sort of setup. If I don't go here, then, you know, currently I'm saying, okay, there's this thin wall between these two, right? Draw this wall. But in reality, what I want to do is I want to draw a thick wall. I want to draw this thick wall, which is strange. Yeah. I want to draw a wall that is... Oh, okay, so if these are at least like W, these are greater than or equal to W. Yeah, yeah. We're finding the smallest node count such that each of these is greater than or equal to W in their radial distance, right? Then this also needs to be just equal to W, equal to width. So, okay, so what does that mean about my... Because if I also draw one right here, well, obviously these conflict with each other. So, yeah, here, and here I cheat by just saying, oh, well, it can only be... Yeah, or here I cheat by just making it really small, right? Like, I just say, it's 0.2, you know? But I don't want to cheat. I want the walls to be a consistent thickness. I want the walls on the path to be at like the same thickness. Is basically what it comes down to. Now, I guess... Now, I don't know. Maybe if I increase that slightly... Yeah, like, what happens if I go up to, like, 0.3? Do I get an interesting result? Okay, so 0.3 is too big. 2.5. Yeah, because, like, I would want it to be, like, the... Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't think this is the right way. Like, I think I just need to account for the thickness of the wall, ultimately. I don't think I can get away with, you know, doing some weird stuff. Yeah, but the question is how do I account for the thickness of the walls? Or really, it's like the thickness of potential walls. I think, so I think what I need to do is I need to imagine that there are cells that are always open, right? Okay, so yes. This guy is always... Okay, yeah. So this is the cell, right? C. 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 And then when you draw a connection between these cells, then this guy opens up, right? So this is the path. This is the edge, right here. Yeah, let's call this E. I mean, the hard part would come... Oh, man. How do I, like... Oh, wait, I know what I could do. Oh, no. Duh. Okay, so... That's also an edge. And then when I draw this layer... Let's just say, hypothetically... I have one less guy. Yeah. I split it again. Because I'm freaking crazy. So, yeah. Here, right? This is always a cell. This is an edge, so an optional cell. Or an optional, path. This is a cell. This is an edge. And then this is a cell. So what does the connectivity look like in this case? The connectivity looks like... Yeah, two adjacent cells. Well, okay, you know what? I need to think about that too. So like here... Yeah, under this is always black, right? This is always a wall. Because it doesn't make sense to connect a cell to an edge. It only makes sense to connect a cell to a cell. Yeah. I think part of the issue, yeah, is that, we have cells adjacent to edges, but I don't really know what that means. Yeah, part of the issue under this scheme is that you can never do this. I think maybe it's important for me to just manually draw a circle maze. Because I think that would inform a lot about what I'm actually thinking of. Okay, so Let's go with 10. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Alright, no. So I want this to be... Yeah, sure. I'll do a path width of 20. So obviously this is going to be a little bit scuffed, but... Dum, bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. I need to check something. Ah, man. Gosh darn it. I need to disable Slack notifications when I'm streaming. That's... Okay. Okay, yeah, and I might get off at 9 a.m. But regardless, okay, so... Yeah, I can just use this. So... Like, how... Yeah. Okay. So if I'm assuming that it's like that... Oh no. That's that's copywritten music. No. As much as I really want to listen to copywritten music. Yeah, what I might start doing is just is not copywriting the music. I don't know, I'll probably just start recording separately and then okay, so yeah. So what am I seeing here though? I'm seeing that this node connects to that node. So I'm seeing a very similar structure. Yeah, because like ultimately what I'm going to do is I break down the walls. So yeah, I can break down that wall, 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 can break down this wall, this wall, this wall, And then, you know, I can break down that wall, can break down that wall, that wall, that wall. Yeah, so it seems like I can draw the same graph. I just need to take into account the wall thickness when I calculate the number of nodes around a particular thing. Like, I'm trying to remember. Because I feel like man, I wonder if I can find the Minecraft mod. Do I have idea on this computer? I think I do. Oh my god, 2022. This thing is old as heck. Oh, no, that's a separate thing. Minecraft? World Gen? No? That's not it. Maze World. Source main? Oh, source main Java. Okay, yeah, alright, that makes sense. Circle maze generator. Because I feel like for the Minecraft world, I did something more interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to see what I did here. Point of interest. POIG. I remember that. Get closest sector. I don't know if I did this right. Yeah, I might rewrite it to try out some stuff. I think, because like, I think what I did before, oh, okay. Here's the, I feel like for the Minecraft mod, I modified it. Nodes at radius. Circle division was 2. Yeah, okay. So it was always a power of 2, which I guess makes sense. Oh. I didn't add a back button to this. Man, this is how JetBrains used to look? That's crazy. Wow. It's like fucking... It's totally different software. No, yeah, the neighbors I think is the most interesting, though. Oh, okay. Literally all we're doing is just, yeah, alright. So, I don't think we're doing anything that exciting here. I could have sworn I tried something with adaptive, with, yeah, adaptive, yeah, that was something else. Huh. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think I'm going to try. So, yeah. Because again, yeah, right? Yeah, like, all I was doing is breaking down walls. I think what my next algorithm just needs to take into account the wall size. So, with that, I'm going to peace out. Goodbye.